Hey everybody, Master Toby Milroy here again with a random live video for the day. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and get all of our sharing and things like that done here. I have to make sure our folks in our group are aware that we're on. Stand by, everybody. Totally random, out of the blue live video today. I do have an agenda. I do have some things I need to accomplish. So give me just a moment and make sure I get let's get everybody in the group on as well. Let's see here. Let's go to Martial Arts World News group. Okay. I believe that should take care of that. Stand by, everybody. I think you should be able to hear me. Let's see. Can you hear me okay? Yes, you should be able to hear me fine. Okay. All right, we are live both on Facebook Live and YouTube. Today was kind of a random video, something I've really wanted to do for a while, and I wanted to make sure everybody was sort of in the loop on. But, with no fanfare or production or any tools or widgets or anything, I'm just going to do this kind of off the cuff here. So forgive me if we get a little off track here. I do, however, have live chat working. So if you do have any questions or comments about anything we're going to talk about today, feel free to pop a little comment in the chat area, either on YouTube or on Facebook. So I'll take a look at that, and I'll kind of keep my eye on that and monitor and see if see where we're at, if anybody has any questions or thoughts. Today, what we're talking about is for all of our Atlas Martial Arts Software clients, our AMS clients, one of the things that we provide for all of our clients is a very rich and robust set of marketing and operational support tools, right? Aside from just the software and websites and all of the other billing services, all the other tools that we do for you as an operation, as an organization, we also provide a lot of support and marketing tools that you can utilize in your martial arts school. So things like marketing campaigns, newsletters, all sorts of these things, but the list is very large. And what happens is, in some cases, we forget to talk about it, right? I watch our statistics pretty carefully, and I see the things that our clients are downloading and what they're using in their martial arts schools and what they're using on social media and things like that. And it's very exciting about how many of our clients are utilizing these tools. And I thought that, since we already have a really great product and something really impactful and powerful for school operators to use, that more people should know about it, right? And all of our clients should certainly know how to use these elements and these tools. So today we're going to talk about that. Today we're going to talk about, let's see here, chat. Today we're going to talk about all the tools that you're provided and how to use each one of them. Sort of a 40,000 foot in the air perspective of how to use some of these things to your best advantage, what our clients have found that works well over the years, things that don't work as well, et cetera, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, right? We have a lot to get through and a few things I want to kind of walk you through. So starting with this, the first thing to identify is that there's sort of two big components, right? We have what we call AMS News, which are the marketing tools and support tools for all of our clients, all of our Atlas Martial Arts Software clients, all of our AMS billing clients, everyone. And then we also have another set of tools, a separate sort of set of tools, an additional set of tools for anybody who's executing the AMS Kids after school program. So this is a separate sort of an additional set of tools because some of the needs are different there, right? The way we operate after school programs is a little bit different than the way you operate just a regular traditional program. And we provide laser targeted tools for both of those, right? So first, let's do this. Let's jump over into Atlas Martial Arts Software. If you're utilizing Atlas Martial Arts Software, this is something, these tools are available to you completely free. You have full access of what we call the MA Biz Academy, which is this big, giant library of all of these tools that are available to you, right? So we're inside Atlas Martial Arts Software right now. You can get there in a couple different ways. You see there's an MA Biz Academy button at the top here, or there's a link over here on the left. So if by clicking that button, you'll be taken to the MA Biz Academy and sort of logged in and given permissions that are appropriate for your membership level. So the first thing, so you'll now see sort of the same thing I see on my screen here, right? So the first thing I would point out to you is that our MA Biz Academy support tools go live on the 15th of every month, right? So Friday was the 15th. Today's the Monday, it's the 18th. So Friday was the 15th. So all of our tools went live on Friday. So people were downloading them over the weekend and looking at the different campaigns and customizing them and making them their own. At the same time, we also have these evergreen campaigns that aren't necessarily quite as timely, right? So let me walk you through how this is orchestrated. On the main homepage here, the main landing page that you're taken to, what you'll see here are all of the, let's call it monthly for now, monthly campaigns, right? All the campaigns that just went live on the 15th of the month to help support what you're doing in the school over the next few months. We publish on the 15th, typically for at least 1, 2, or 3 months in advance. Does that make sense? So it's March now. You'll see April and May campaigns, right, that are now live for you, right? So that you can prepare at least a couple of months ahead of time, at least 6-8 weeks ahead of time. And sometimes we're even further ahead, just depending on the season, right? Depending on what the season is. So you'll notice, first of all, everything on this home page here, on this main page, all the things that are on the left side over here, these are the live campaigns for this next cycle, so to speak, right? And we'll kind of walk through what these individual components are. And then there are other things that we'll navigate to today, right? So let's talk about what we call AMS News. That's sort of our first component, right? These are the campaigns that are not specifically targeted to after school. That's AMS Kids, right? So AMS News for all of our clients, all of our operators, all of our partners throughout the industry. This is designed for everyone, not specifically targeting after school programs. So the first thing I would point out to you is the first component that we'll talk about today is what we call the AMS News newsletter, right? This is basically a members magazine every month. This is designed to help you discover the campaigns that we're providing and also prepare and train your staff on how to execute those campaigns. Does that make sense? We find one of the challenges that all school operators struggle with is, okay, I see the marketing campaign, I see the Memorial Day campaign, et cetera, or a back to school campaign or whatever the campaign we're discussing is. Now I need to make sure my staff understands it. How do I get them to help me execute it? Right? And one of the things that we can do here at Atlas Martial Arts Software is help to educate your team as well, right? So not only are they tools for you, but they're tools and strategy that we can help your staff understand as well, right? So the AMS News newsletter is designed for that purpose, right? You'll see inside here deep descriptions and sort of step-by-step how-tos on how to execute each campaign that we're providing, each marketing campaign that we're providing. And sometimes there are nuances to these promotions that are very important, that are critical, right? It's not just about handing out flyers. It's not just about passing out, hanging door hangers on doors. Some of these things require a little more nuance, right? And we see, a radical variance between executing poorly and executing well, right? Just handing out flyers gets maybe 1 student a month, whereas doing our booth model with our lead generation element could turn into 18 to 20 enrollments this month, right? It's that sort of a huge swing in many cases. So you'll find in here, let's see, sort of an outline of all of the components that are available to you, right? Invitation to the webinar, which we have on the second Tuesday of every month. We walk you through how to use our AMS News newsletter, MA Times newsletter, some features and some new additions to our software that you might want to know about. What else is in here? Oh, a walkthrough of our webinars. We'll talk about that in just a little bit here that we provide for you. How to execute the main campaign of the month. Usually there's also a little instructor tutorial in here as well. So sort of some information, some strategies on being a better instructor that you can give to your staff. You'll certainly want to review as well, but they're usually teaching strategies, praise, correct, praise, teaching pedagogy type of elements that are very useful. A little staff training article typically on how to get your staff really motivated and help them execute what you're trying to do at a high level. Typically there's some higher level business management article as well. This one happens to be a Jim Rohn article, the late great Jim Rohn, on 9 things that are more important than capital, right? and then some other how-tos and tips on teaching, training, and even some philosophy, how to teach philosophy in the martial arts classroom. So all of these are elements and components of the AMS News newsletter. This is for members only, and this is a really good sort of a school owner's newsletter, right? So this is for school operators, tools for you, tools for your staff, help educate them, engage them, and motivate them, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So there's that. Now, the next element that we'll describe in our AMS news program is the MA Times newsletter. And this is now the newsletter for students, right? AMS News is for owners. MA Times is for students. And this is prepared for you in two formats. We have a print format here, right? And then we also break that print format up into 4 sequential emails that you can set up in your email system in Atlas Martial Arts Software to be emailed every week, right? So they're like weekly emails. They're broken down into weekly. I recommend that you, look, we all know why we want to use a martial arts, a newsletter, right? A printed newsletter and an email newsletter. We know that students make progress slowly over time. And we want to make sure that we're constantly pointing out that students are getting the benefits that they enrolled for, reminding them of why they enrolled and showing them concrete examples of how they are improving in those areas, right? Reminding them that they are improving in those areas and reminding them of the value of the program, right? Those are things that benefits that you don't see every day. You don't see the little incremental changes every day in a student, right? So it's important for us to be showing, to be reminding students and parents about that, right? So that's the MA Times newsletter. Again, I recommend that you print this out, whether in color or black and white, doesn't really matter all that much. But I recommend that you print this out, maybe stick address labels on them, and then you hand them physically to every student, and you know, based on the address labels that you have left over who hasn't been to class that week so far. Hand them to every family, every parent, etc. Right? Again, these are. I also email them every week, right? You know, we break it up into 4 emails, but I think it's important that you're physically touching people, that you're physically talking to people, you're physically shaking hands, and this kind of thing. Inside the MA Times newsletter is typically a health-related article about the benefits of your program, right? How it helps with flexibility and coordination and weight loss and calorie burn and things like this. There's also typically a mental article, an article about the non-physical, like the mental benefits of martial arts. There's typically an article on one given character skill, or we have a monthly theme, right? This one happens to be we're focusing on the word honor. What does honor mean? What does that mean to you? And how does our program help you understand and carry that message forward, right, and throughout the rest of your life? And there's usually a philosophy article as well. So this is all designed to support what you're doing in your martial arts school. So again, you can choose to follow our calendar, our sort of monthly topic, right? And if you do that, then all of these tools will help support that monthly topic, right? So you get the idea. So MA Times newsletter is the second component of our AMS News program. The third component here is we offer at least 3 marketing campaigns a month. Usually it's more, but at least 3 different marketing campaigns each month based on what you might choose or what you might think is a good fit for the culture of your school, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to scroll on the screen over here at the same time. I'll show you some of these little mock-ups. But if you look over here on the screen, the first thing we're talking about is Memorial Day, right? So we've got a Memorial Day campaign. We actually have 2 different Memorial Day campaigns. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So here's one set of Memorial Day tools that we provide for you. And this is designed for both print and for digital. These are Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Facebook posts, Facebook ads, basically website headers, email copy and content, posters, flyers, basically anything that you can imagine, anything that you might need to promote your school using Memorial Day as a reason, an excuse, right? So first is the Memorial Day campaign. Second element of that, second I guess /B, is Memorial Day parades, participating in community Memorial Day activities, right? And again, if I look toward the nuance here, right? It's not just about marching in a Memorial Day parade. If you read the article in AMS News, what you'll find is it's not just about handing out flyers or marching in a parade. It's about interacting with people in a more robust way that generates a lead, sets an appointment, and in some cases even gets an enrollment that day, right? So you really want to make sure that you're kind of paying attention to that. It's not just about, print out pretty flyers and hand them to people, right? We know better than that now. We have much more sophisticated, much more effective tools now, right? If you're still sort of in that mindset, then give my team a call here. Go to tryatlassoftware.com, find the phone number, call them, right? Whatever it is. We can help you with a much, much more effective, much better way to deal with these things. So we do have the Memorial Day event promotional campaign as well. So a couple of elements there focused on Memorial Day. You'll also see, and we'll review some bonus campaigns here as well. You'll also see in there a Mother's Day campaign, again, to provide far enough in advance to be able to plan for these things. We also have a Mother's Day campaign. Again, all the tools that you're going to need for digital, social media, and or print, manual, physical components. This is a promotion specifically for an internal and external promotion to promote Mother's Day. So to bring the mothers of your current students, to get them to bring friends, and then also just a general marketing campaign for those things as well, right? Those are the three built-in campaigns for this cycle, this monthly run. In addition, we always provide additional options as well, right? Maybe for some reason there is not a Memorial Day activity in your town. I doubt it, but maybe there isn't, right? Maybe you're in a town that doesn't celebrate Memorial Day, or maybe it's not a big enough area, or whatever the case might be, or maybe it's not within striking distance of your school, whatever the case might be. So we then provide many, many other options as well that you can also execute either instead of or in addition to. One such example is this. We have a spring break games campaign for spring break. For some schools, spring break starts in the next week or two, right? So we have sort of a spring break tryout campaign. We have a spring break game, sort of Hunger Games themed. It's a beautiful campaign. It's really a cool campaign. But it's so imagine a Hunger Games theme in your martial arts school, but it's spring break games, and it's designed for your students to bring a friend, right? It's for your student to have a teammate, right? That they can bring in, a non-martial artist that they can bring in to be their teammate, right? So this is an important referral type activity. We have a Parent Appreciation Day campaign. We have a light sword battle campaign. We have a Mother's Day retreat campaign as well, sort of a different take on Mother's Day, right? And a bunch of other things, right? A bunch of other campaigns. So let's take a look at the site. You'll see, obviously, again, the Memorial Day ad special. We have a Winning is a Choice motivational poster for the adult market. This follows along with our monthly theme of the month. Parade, as we described a minute ago. Bring your mom to class ads. These, again, is that Mother's Day, part of the Mother's Day thing. We also have a nutritional campaign. Since we're in sort of springtime and renewal time, that's definitely a message that we want to be focused on. This is actually an interesting campaign too, a tax refund campaign. Now, you have to be thoughtful about the phraseology that you use with this. But for many people, they get a little money back from the government, and what a great tool, what a great way to leverage that extra cash than to perhaps offer discounts on paid-in-fulls in your school, perhaps offer discounts on upgrades. Maybe they can use that little bit of extra cash to invest in themselves, in your program and in themselves to leverage, right? And so, for example, that's a campaign that you can leverage as well. And remember, these campaigns come with some editability, right? So even with regular plain old Adobe Acrobat, you can go into this campaign and you can change what you want the offer to be, right? So maybe it's something like get, 18% off your program. Ask us how. Something like this, right? Whatever you think makes sense, right? It's up to you. You can fill that in and offer whatever it is that you think you might want to. But it's a very useful time and a trigger for people to think about investing in themselves in a way that they might not have thought about otherwise. Let's see, Bring Your Mom campaign. What else do we have here? Nutrition tax refund. The MA Times, as we discussed. AMS News newsletter, as we discussed as well. Oh, April Friends Day. Instead of April Fool's Day, we do April Friends Day. Right? So why not, right? On April 1st, on the week of April 1st, instead of doing April Fool's Day and playing a trick on your friend, bring them to class instead. We'll play a trick on them there, right? So we have all these kind of clever ideas about how you can make a tricky class, but also another referral activity, right? So again, it's just another angle that you can take that we provide all the tools for, right? We provide the sign-up sheet and the flyer and the poster and the Facebook ads and campaigns and stories and all the stuff you might want to help promote this concept, right? But the concept itself is pretty valuable. Right? So take a look at that. We also have this thing, like I described earlier, called martial arts tryouts, right? Sort of like a spring sport, right? Right now, as people get back from spring break, the new spring sports are starting to happen for schools and things like this. So again, kind of a cool concept that we have sort of tryouts for our demo team, tryouts for our storm team, things like this, right? Okay, what else in that? Okay, that's all for that section. Also, as part of AMS News is a management section. So again, how to execute these marketing campaigns, but also management articles, management content to help you with your staff development, with your internal operations as well. We also provide, obviously, what we call industry insights. These are weekly. Every week, the new webinar comes up. These are interviews with successful school operators or strategies or marketing campaigns and tools that we know have worked well in the past that we use on a consistent basis. Different strategies that you can help learn from to grow your school. Really, really useful. Okay, so that sort of I guess concludes at least partially what AMS News is all about. Sort of the campaigns that we provide for AMS News, right? Which then moves us into AMS Kids, another similar set of tools designed for after-school programs, right? So let's take a look at that. So first, our marketing campaign for after-school is we're using this as a Parent Appreciation Day. And you can repurpose this campaign for non-after-school as well, of course, right? But our current promotion for that program is a Parent Appreciation Day or Parent Appreciation Week or month or however you want to describe that, where we're bringing in, again, the parents of our students, but we're also, rewarding and incentivizing parents in the community in general, right? So we promote our Parent Appreciation Day all over the community, right? We do outside events. We bring in like a massage therapist and a coffee bar and all sorts of cool things where people can drop in and see what our program is all about. We have a big display and a big booth set up out in front of the school where parents of mothers of any type, parents of any type can come in and have some that type of an experience, right? Then on the after school specific side, we have our after school specific program guide called AMS Kids Guide, right? The AMS Kids newsletter, I guess book, if you want to call it that. This is very similar to AMS News, but it's how to execute the after-school program this month. So things like how to promote your after-school program, opportunities that are available this month that are unique this month, how to execute the promotions, the marketing campaigns for after-school this month, and also how to orchestrate the classes for this month. In addition to that information and strategy for school operators and school owners, we also provide completely done-for-you instructors' guides. Right? So these instructors guides, this is week 4 for some reason, but these instructors guides are literally day by day, minute by minute class plans for the minute the students get off the bus or off the vans into your martial arts school all the way through to the end of the day, every single day, right? And again, these revolve around sort of a central theme of the month, the word of the month, I guess, if you want to call it that, or the theme of the month with weekly units. And it helps to reinforce all of those values for your staff and for the student as well, right? So literally you can run to your PC, print this off in the morning, print it all out at the beginning of the month, however you want to do it, hand that off to your instructor for that day. And now they know how to handle the class. They know what the orchestration of the class is going to be, what the key lessons are, what the key takeaways are, and even in some cases, little chunks of script, right, that you want them to execute against. So teacher's guides, instructor's guides as well. So school owner guide, master guide, instructor guide, right, so to speak. Then to help those instructors and the staff reinforce the benefits of your after-school program, A+ Mail is another student-facing newsletter. Once again, also broken into 4 weekly emails, but this one then focuses directly on the after-school program student. So focuses on reinforcing the benefits of your after-school program. And in many cases, we also provide parent interaction activities and things like this to really help anchor those parents into the program as well. And then a calendar on the back that you can use for your calendar of events, right? Then more help for your instructors, more help for your staff, our sort of quiet time worksheets, right? So these again revolve around our monthly theme, right? And these are broken up so that you can use one just about every day, where you've got things like word searches and mazes and drawing activities and sort of visualization and goal setting activities and future pacing, leadership lessons, things like this that are all reinforced inside these elements. What is this? Okay, so this focused on the value of honor, and it says, write 5 examples. Write 5 examples of how you would define. Okay, that's good. That's a great idea, right? Some vocabulary, commitment, allegiance, right? Things like this, right? So again, very, very useful for your downtime, your quiet time activities, or just to reinforce your regular program, right? You could use each of these for sort of a high five award or a star on the patch or whatever the case might be. Again, motivational and inspirational for your students, and helps them sort of help to reinforce the values and the benefits of what you're doing. And then, not finally, but in addition, we also have something called Leader's Edge, which is also designed for your after-school program for the older students, right? For the teenagers. We all know that they're tough, right? They're tricky to keep in our programs. So we've built a program specific for that task called Leader's Edge. This is where your older, younger teens and mid-teen students are now taking a leadership role in the after-school program, where they're helping you facilitate the program, right? And these are the types of things that they're going to need to know and help with. Again, pieces of script, week by week little pieces of script that break down the monthly theme into weekly lessons and help them teach those lessons, right? So in addition to like physical activities as well, but then how to relate those back to our character lesson of the month, right? And unit of the week, if that makes any sense. Little challenges that they can do with students, those types of things, right? And then usually there's also a specific marketing campaign for the Leader's Edge program. Some schools use this as an additional revenue center, right, where they ascend people to the Leader's Edge program, right? So that's how those tools work, right? So again, to say it in Cliff's notes, everything you need to market and manage and maximize your martial arts school. We provide that. We want to be able to provide you a complete tool set, right? All of the things that you're going to need, right? Broken into sort of 2 components, AMS News and AMS Kids. Now, in addition to that, I guess I forgot to show you here on the site. So these are those after school and summer camp AMS Kids tools as well. So A+ Mail, again, some other marketing campaigns, worksheets, spring breaking camp we did with the after school program students for spring break, things like this, right? So again, all of those elements are available for you there. Now, I would also be remiss if I didn't mention, and want to make sure to underscore, that again, this homepage is just the current content, the current tools, the tools that are sort of targeted for this month, this season, right? In this case, aiming a couple of months ahead, but targeted specifically for this season. There are all sorts of things that happen that aren't seasonal, right? If you want to host a tournament at your school, if you want to do a leadership camp, whatever the case might be, might not necessarily be just seasonal. So if you look in the marketing tab, you'll see that there are adult campaigns, child campaigns, promotions of the month, which relate back to AMS News, but also anytime campaigns, seasonal, and social media. So we're going to take a look at that. Let's take a look at the anytime campaigns for a second here. Let's see, that's seasonal. Let's look at anytime. So anytime campaigns could be Parents' Night Out, could be any type of a campaign that you might need access to ad hoc at any time, right? So we typically do a new Parents' Night Out every month, right, for you, at least one. We typically do an internal and an external promotion at least every month, at least one, right? So for example, right now what's available, and what happens in the anytime promotions is new things come all the time, and then older things will drop off, and then we'll reshuffle them occasionally, right? But new things are coming in all the time. So a winter's camp. So for spring break, we do a camp for students, both after-school program students and non-after-school program students. So Winter's Camp is a version of that. Parents' Night Out, Nerf dart battle. Don't use Nerf. Foam dart battle. Don't use trademarks, right? Don't use Star Wars. Don't use Nerf, right? You're just setting yourself up for headaches, potentially, extinction level headaches. So, Foam dart battle, right, is a Parents' Night Out promotion that's available for you this cycle as well. What is this one? Parents' Night Out, a night of fun and learning. Okay, this one is just basically focused on the external market, not necessarily focused just on martial arts students, but focused on the general market, right? So it's not so overtly martial arts branded, right? So we want you to be able to have both tools at your disposal, martial arts branding and sometimes covert branding, right, where it's just a Parents' Night Out activity in a community center, right, for prospective students, frankly, right? Another Parents' Night Out version. What's this Parents' Night Out? This is a martial arts specific one. We have some rack cards for you, 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently many versions of rack cards available for you here as well. So again, these anytime promotions are available to you depending on what it is you specifically need. Here are seasonal promotions. So obviously we talked about Memorial Day, spring, things like this, but we also have things like, we did a promotion for Pi Day. There's some elements in here. There's a school calendar there you saw just a moment ago. We have, Mother's Week, Mother Appreciation Week, Early Bird Summer Camp. Many schools start promoting their summer camps in December, right? So we have Early Bird Summer Camp campaigns for you available there as well. Summer camp emails, community outreach programs, good grades promotion as schools start to let out, and we have 9-week exams. We have promotions for good grades, et cetera, right? So all those are available to you at any time. They rotate through based on the seasonality of the season. And then social media promotions, most social media campaigns. Basically anything that you could imagine that you're going to need for social media, we provide that as well, whether it's stories or posts or whatever the case might be. So again, we're focusing here on the things that are appropriate for both this season and the media, right? So I would highly recommend, if you haven't done so, go to the MA Biz Academy, check all this stuff out. Leverage these tools to your benefit. This is a massive, massive, massive advantage for our clients, right? This is a massive tool set where other associations, people who aren't affiliated with us, are out there scrambling around trying to come up with the next promotion or trying to come up with the next marketing tool or trying to build and design things or wasting all their time on Photoshop or whatever the case is, trying to remember what didn't work well last year. We've done all that for you, right? We've done all the brain damage for you, right? So you use these tools at your disposal. If you're not yet using Atlas Martial Arts software, this is a big reason you want to do that, right? In addition to, marketing tools, this is also tapping into a giant wealth of knowledge in martial arts business operations, right? So many of these marketing strategies are a product of operating schools for decades and decades and decades successfully, and the things that we've seen work over and over and over again, right? So it's a really nice roadmap, right, to help you sort of aim your arrow, so to speak, in the right direction rather than sort of firing off in a million different directions, hoping you hit something good, right? So I hope that's useful for you. I know it was just kind of an impromptu, crazy, last-minute let's all get together on a webinar, or let's all get together on a Facebook Live video. But I hope it was useful for you, and I hope this tool is especially useful for all of our Atlas Martial Arts software users who maybe know this stuff exists, but maybe you need a little help executing against it, or maybe it's something that you just kind of forgot about, or maybe it's something that really you want to help your staff get really motivated to really execute well for you as well. Okay, so hopefully it's useful for all that, and you can let me know. Tools that you think you'd like to have that might not be available for you, or you can't find them, or campaigns that we may have missed, or we might not have presented apparently enough. Right? We're always open for feedback on these types of things. I'm always listening, trying to decipher and build in campaigns that schools really want to execute. Right? So let me know about all those things, and hopefully we'll speak really soon. Right? So thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time. We'll chat again soon. Now, if I can figure out how to stop this.